There's an invisible line of exactly 18 inches that's draining thousands of dollars from Amazon sellers every single year. And most sellers have absolutely no idea they're on the wrong side of it. Today, I'm going to show you how I use Claude to discover the products in one brand's catalog where literally 1 inch away from potentially saving up to $20,000 a year. And the craziest part, this took Lynn 5 minutes to find it. So, as you know, that Amazon's fees are changing in 2026, and there's a invisible line that matters more than any other, and that's the 18 inches line. As you can see here, the size tier that goes up to 18 inches is going to be large standard, but anything above that is going to go into large bulky. They're introducing a small bulky, but either way, it's going to cost a lot more. And if you're, let's say your longest side is 17.9 inches, then you're in standard tier, and that's about $4. But if you're in 18.1 inches, then boom, you just bumped into either small bulky or large bulky, and your fees jump from they go up to $4 or $8 even more per item. So let me put that in perspective. If you're selling $500 500 units a month at $6 per unit extra because your box is 1 inch too big, that's about $3,000 a month, and that's $36,000 a year just vanishing into Amazon's pockets because nobody measured the box. And here's the thing, most sellers don't even know which tier they're in. They definitely don't know they could save tens of thousands of dollars by just shaving off half an inch here. Hello, my name is Nhan. I'm with Seller Labs and sold over 80 million on Amazon since 2012. We're building tools for Amazon sellers. And if you like this, click like and subscribe to learn more how to be a profitable Amazon seller. So I investigated into this fees change, and I asked Claude, and by the way, I'm using Claude AI along with Seller Labs MCP, which lets me ask about Amazon data in plain English, and then the AI goes to the database and works for me. So I asked, can you look up the fee changes in coming 2026 and look through my MCP to look for fees and dimensions to see if I can reduce it by 1 or 2 inches, and that'll get me into a lower tier so that it'll save me on FBA fees. So the first thing it did was go through the internet and find all the fee changes that Amazon is doing. And then it compiled all that. And then it looked through the product dimension. And then it also looked through the FBA fees to see what the fees are for the products with the dimensions. So after all that, it compiled all together, and it compiled me into this list here. And in this list, basically, it compiled and it gave an analysis. And if you go down here, it gave me a list of all the products that are in my catalog that if I reduce a little bit, it can save a lot of money. So here it said it could save $10,000 to $20,000 depending on the volume. So it's assuming a high volume. So here's the list here. It tells you what the longest is. This one is 23 inches, 18 inches, 18.54. This is like barely over that limit. And 22, 21. So all these are in large bulky that could go into a smaller tier if you're able to modify the product. Some you can, some you can't. But they basically, I have over 1,500 products, SKUs in my catalog or ASINs, and I don't have the time to be able to pull through all that. But it just went through and found the ones that are closest here. So that's what it gave me. Just the list where I start investigating. So here's the other interesting. At the bottom, I ask it to, what's the potential annual savings if we optimize these products? On top, it says like I save up to $20,000. But then it looked through all the sales data in the Amazon database, in my Amazon database, and calculated, and it actually says the honest answer is only $1,300. So this is probably not worth doing as a standalone project for my account. So as you can see, my account is pretty optimized already, but your account may be a lot higher in sales, but it will look through the data and find that for you. And another crazy thing that happened during this analysis is when I first ran the numbers, there's one skew. This skew, it didn't make sense to me. I was like, what is 23 inch? So I went into the skew details here and pulled up that product and went to fees, and it showed the longest size is only 9 inches. But Claude is saying 23 inches. So I was like, that's wrong. Can you look at why it's wrong? So it went through it again, and it says there was a duplicate. There was 2 different dimensions, 123 and 19, and that's why it got that one. And it said the weight was 1,200 pounds, which is wrong. So it reasoned through it once I prodded that it was the wrong dimension. And then I finally dig into it and see why there's 2, but actually it's because one, it's not that Amazon was providing bad data. It's just that we were storing in the database the dimensions for Canada, which are metric dimensions, and the US, which is imperial dimensions, which is in inches. So that was the main reason, because here the venue I was looking for venue 2 with the US marketplace, but it was looking in venue 1. So I had to tell it to recreate that list in for only the US marketplace. And so it did. It went through and corrected that and gave me the list with the corrected listings. So that's basically shows that the Claude AI was able to function as an analyst and pull this data and analyze it based on the fees that are coming up. So imagine this, like this is my catalog of 1,000, but if you have like 50, 100, or 1,000 or 10,000, and you're managing dozens of brands, like how many of those products are sitting just half an inch away from the critical threshold? How much money is it leaking out of your business right now because nobody's measuring those boxes? So the way, like I shared before, the traditional way is to download a bunch of spreadsheets, do a bunch of tables and calculations, figure this out. But with Claude AI and Amazon Seller Labs MCP, you can do this in 5 minutes, and you can do it for every single product, or every time Amazon updates their fees, you can run this. And just like Amazon is introducing the small, bulky, you can run this and it'll analyze it for you. So you may be thinking that this sounds great, but you don't know SQL, or you're not a data analyst. But that's the point. We connected your Amazon data to Claude, or we created this bridge called the Seller Labs MCP that allows you to ask questions like that in plain English. And just like I didn't write any code. Claude was able to figure it out by querying your database and finding insights and show you where the money is hiding. Obviously, you have to double check it, because it's like we found that it doesn't always know some of the nuances of your database. But it's a good starting point. So if you'd like to find out more about our MCP, go to sellerlabs.com/AmazonMCP for more details. And if you like this, click like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.